Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another edition of 5 Things That We Learned. First things first, guys, make sure you like, comment, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button. And let's dive into it. Obviously, finished Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2 at Stamford Bridge last night. Slept on it, woken up this morning, still feel massively disappointed that we threw it away. But that takes me on to my first point, that we shouldn't allow a really positive performance to be dampened by the fact that we threw away a 2-goal lead in the last 10 minutes. You know, there's a lot of positives to take. For 77, 80 minutes, we were absolutely outstanding. We played Arsenal off the pitch. We were miles better than them. Simple as that. We really were. We were punished for errors in the final 10 minutes. And unfortunately, obviously, football's a 90-minute game. It's not a 77-minute game. We were cruising to a really easy win. And you know, that's the important thing we've got to take from this, is that without individual mistakes from Robert Sanchez Gusto sleeping at the back stick for the Trossard equaliser, that was an easy Chelsea win. And if that isn't progress, I don't know what is. The fact that we're coming away from a game against Arsenal and we're disappointed that we didn't win goes to show the progress that we are making. We played incredibly well. Lots of positives to take. There's lots of positives to take from that display. There really is. Like I really, like, I can't stress it enough, guys, how positive yesterday was, despite the fact that we threw it away. Yes, you can't throw a two-goal lead away like that in the last 10 minutes. You shouldn't be doing that. It's inexcusable, in my opinion, at any level of football. But at the same time, we can't allow that to overcloud the positives that we had. And 10 out of 11 players were absolutely superb. The game plan was spot on. Everyone carried out their job to a T, bar one. And, you know, there's a lot of positives to go forward with into this difficult run of fixtures. And I feel a lot more confident now about this run of games following that performance yesterday. And we can reach that level or replicate that level in the upcoming games. Then I think we're going to be just fine in this run of fixtures, and I think we'll be just fine for the season coming. So my first point is, you know, don't allow the result to overshadow what was a really positive display, despite how fucking disappointing it really was. But to play Arsenal off the pitch for 80 minutes and only be let down from an easy win by individual mistakes, if that's not progress, I don't know what is. My second point, though, goes to the fact that we need to become wiser as a team. That's the key thing for me. We need to become wiser, and I think a lack of experience cost us the game. Not just a lack of experience, obviously individual mistakes as well. But you know, even when it goes 2-1, you've got to have better game management. You've got to be smarter. You need, like, that's where I think we lacked leaders. That's where we lacked experience. That's where we lacked a winning mentality, is not knowing how to see out a situation. And as soon as it went 2-1, we literally shit ourselves. You know, we were all over the place. We stopped doing all the things that we were doing well. You know, it just wasn't working for us. You know, we just abandoned everything. I don't know what happened, but we got scared. We shit ourselves, and we allowed that panic to spread through the team. And you know, once it went 2-1, there was only one way that game was going. And if it had gone on for another 10 minutes, we probably would have lost that game. I think that's a fair thing to say. So my next point is that a lack of experience and a lack of know-how in big moments and how to see games out, and a slight dip in mentality, and still not, you know, forging that elite level mindset and mentality has cost us today. You know, I hate to say it, but Arsenal of old, that game's done. No chance of they coming back in. But this Arsenal team, yes, they're 3-4 years into the Arteta project, and you'd expect them to be a lot better than us, and they weren't. But they have developed this steely mentality where they've got a bit of a never say die attitude now. What we used to have back in the day when we were obviously picking up Premier League titles left, right, and centre. So that's something we need to learn. You know, whether that comes from the manager, whether that comes from the players on the pitch. I think it's a collective for everyone that we've got to have better game management, better, you know, better composure on the pitch, you know, more wise heads, more people communicating with one another and not allowing the situation to get the better of us. My third point is that Mauricio Pochettino is really starting to show and flex his tactical muscles. And I thought, bar the subs, which I don't think worked for us yesterday, I thought he was spot on with everything he did. You know, he's showing tactical flexibility. You know, most of the season we've kind of lined up largely in a 4-2-3-1 formation. But there are a few surprises in the lineup on Saturday. Obviously, we lined up without a recognised striker, and it was a little bit of a hybrid 4-4-2 almost. Palmer and Gallagher were acting as maybe what you might deem as false strikers. Arsenal defence couldn't really deal with it. Saliba and Gabriel were massively struggling. Zinchenko was hooked at half-time, absolute shocker. Ben White looking like a BTEC Slim Shady, wasn't really offering much either. And it was relentless pressing from Palmer and Gallagher, particularly fluid positioning. And, the slight tweak in formation, it showed Poch's willingness and ability, to adapt his tactics and to outwit the opposition. And he absolutely won the battle of the minds against Arteta on this occasion. He completely outclassed Arteta. We outclassed Arsenal completely. Arsenal really struggled to deal with kind of the awkward shape. It was a really well-drilled performance. And, it's great to see that, we're clearly executing a plan that was given to us. And it's great to see players buying into it, players understanding what the manager's saying, and you can for the first time in a long time see there's a clear game plan, there's a clear identity, and everyone knows their role. So credit to Pochettino and the staff for that. And it was only a howler from Sanchez that allowed Arsenal back into the game. So we have got a top manager in Poch. And he deserves credit for that tactical flexibility, and he is flexing his tactical muscles. And Arteta was absolutely outclassed. Simple as that. Nothing different. Nothing different at all. My next point is that Robert Sanchez massively needs to fix up, and we've got to cut out individual mistakes, because individual mistakes are killing us. Look, Sanchez, that mistake that he made was waiting to happen for a long time. I mean, it wasn't actually a good afternoon for the goalkeepers at all. Raya was very shaky as well. But every time, look, Sanchez has been good so far this season. I think that's fair. He's done better than people expected him to. But one thing I would say is he's always got a bozo moment in him. And you get so nervous when he's got the ball at his feet at the back. Sometimes common sense just needs to prevail. Look, I'm all for playing out from the back, but sometimes you just got to think, do you know what? I've got players bearing down on me. My options of going short, I'm going to potentially play a player into trouble. Just get rid of it, boot it upfield, hoof it out for a throw-in or whatever you need to do. There's a lack of common sense and a lack of reading the game and acknowledging the situation. Sanchez did not read the room well. For that pass straight to us. The pass he was going for was a fucking risky one anyway, and would have put, I can't remember who it was, I would have put the player under big pressure from the Arsenal attackers anyway. So common sense has got to prevail, but Sanchez needs to work on his distribution big time, really needs to work with the ball at his feet. And I think these errors may be affecting the defence a little bit, the confidence. Can they really trust Sanchez behind them? I thought we defended well for large parts of the game, and I don't worry about our defence particularly, but Sanchez has got to cut those individual errors out of this game. I don't want to be too harsh on him, but he did cost us the game. Simple as that. But he has been all right since he's come here. But, we've got Petrovic waiting in the wings. If he continues making errors like that, then maybe he might not be in the side for too much longer. But you have to make cut those mistakes out and, just start using common sense and just read the situation. It's not the law you've got to play out from the back. You're not going to get shouted at. Just get rid of the fucking ball sometimes. And if he'd done that, we would have won that game. Simple as that. So, yeah, look, I'm a bit down on Sanchez after yesterday, but we have to stick with him and hope that things improve, because, it's become a little bit of a thing now where he's just a liability with the ball at his feet. He looks so nervy, holds on to it for too long, plays players into trouble. Distribution at times is all over the gaff. That doesn't spread confidence or give your teammates confidence in your ability as a goalkeeper. So he needs to fix up sharpish. My next point then, point number 3, I believe, is that Mykhailo Mudryk continuing to improve. He had goals before and during the international break, and he's growing in stature, guys. Another goal and a promising display against Arsenal. Whether he meant it or not is neither here nor there. Part of me thinks that he did. Tony Jimenez, the goalkeeping coach, came out and said that, he'd spoken to Mudryk in the week about Raya's positioning and, you can get at him, lobbing him and stuff. And I think, the way he does it, like, he takes a bit of a look up. He looks at Raya, looks up at the goal. And, whether it's a poor cross or whatever, or he's meant it, it was massive, particularly against Arsenal as well. And you could say he was lucky to score potentially, but it was going to no doubt further boost his confidence. He earned the luck as well. I said before the game, sometimes you got to earn your luck in these big games, and Mudryk earned that luck. He put in what you would probably describe as an industrious performance for the boys. And not least personified by the fact, he turned on that pace to overlap Gallagher for receiving the ball when he scored his goal. And that came from initially helping win the ball back in his own half. So he's starting to put together consistent performances, and he's also showing vast improvement in his tactical work as well. So it's a very promising prospect for us as Chelsea fans. And Pochettino saying after the game that, he's pleased with him, but we still haven't seen the best and he still needs to improve. And I think that's the one thing here. I've backed Mudryk from day one. This guy's got so much ability, and we're just starting to scratch the surface with it. So another really positive performance from him. And my next point is Marc Cucurella. Round of applause for him, guys. Round of applause for Cucurella. I thought he was absolutely superb. And you know what? The last three, 4 games or so, Brighton in the Cup, then Fulham, Burnley, and yesterday, man had Saka locked down like it was COVID still. He was unbelievable yesterday. I've been as critical as anyone of Cucurella. So, it's only fair that he gets his flowers and praise for excellent performances, both in position and out of position. And you know what? He wouldn't be the first Chelsea player to take a year or so to adapt before really showing what he's about. It's almost like he just needed opportunities to show what he can do. You don't become a bad player overnight. So many people writing him off so quickly, and it takes time sometimes. Coming from Brighton to Chelsea is a big step up. It's a different thing. It's a different way of playing. It's a different level of pressure. Absolute turmoil last season. Not easy for any new player to adapt. And, he was absolutely brilliant, caused Saka, all sorts of problems. Saka didn't have a sniff all game. And that's credit to Cucurella. And it's almost like he just needed some opportunities to show what he can do. And he's going to be a really important part of the squad now, particularly with Ben Chilwell out injured. He's got a big role to play. So I'm absolutely delighted for him, showing people that he is a good footballer and what we paid the money for. So long may it continue. And my final point, other than the fact that I just wanted to add that it's great that we saw Reece James return to action. And obviously his contributions are going to be really important. First time he featured since the opening day. It was his 100th Premier League appearance. Wasn't the happiest of returns considering he threw a 2-goal lead away, but it was great for us as fans to see the captain back on the pitch. And he's going to have to show his captaincy skills on and off the pitch in the next few weeks, as we do need to help the boys move on from this draw. And, my final point is Cole Palmer. I know we talk about him most weeks on this show, but fuck me, what a player this kid is. Maturity beyond his years, insisting on having the penalty, even though Sterling wanted it. My guy, takes that, shows composure, slots it away, and he looks like he could be the new designated penalty taker, and that should be exactly that. He netted from the spot before the international break against Burnley, and he stepped up again. And, in a pressure moment, there's a lot of pressure on him to convert, more pressure than there was against Burnley at Turf Moor. He showed composure, and you know what? He emerged victorious from that kind of that scuffle, and he's showing maturity beyond his years to step up for the team. He's a fantastic football player. He's smart. He's intelligent. He never shies away from the ball. He always wants the ball. His first thought is to make things happen. He's industrious. He presses well from the front. He intercepts the ball. This kid has got everything. He's a real special player. And, I can't tell you the levels in upgrade it is on Kai Havertz. The fact that we're seeing Cole Palmer do his thing while Havertz was sat on the bench for Arsenal is almost a bit of a full circle moment. But Palmer was absolutely superb. So fair play to him, and long may it continue. One of the first names on the team sheet, and fastly turning into one of our most important players. So yeah, fair play. I'll run out of superlatives for the kid because he's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, guys, that's just my thoughts on 5 things that we learned from Arsenal, Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments below, guys, and make sure you smash a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you again in another video soon. Up the Chelsea, and peace out, people.